Alright everyone, it's time for Vermont Issues episode 92 on the arrest of Rabbi Berl Fink. Now, this individual from New York was apparently driving through Vermont with his family, his wife and kids, speeding significantly. Then the cops show up and he continues to drive, continues to speed, doesn't stop for I believe 4.5 miles. They then get him out of the vehicle and arrest him at gunpoint and cuff his family. I've got sort of split feelings on things like this when they happen. On the one hand, if you're driving 4.5 miles after the police have already given pursuit, it's kind of excessive. On the other hand, though, did he do anything else specifically to warrant being pulled over at gunpoint? Like, I can understand maybe they were expecting, oh, well, he's not stopping, he must be carrying a load of drugs. Once that person, though, does stop, are you really anticipating that every time that this happens there's going to be a shootout of some sort? I would think that a little bit more restraint, I guess, could have been shown. But I mean, it is excessive. If you continue to drive until you're under the next lamp or something, usually not going to be a problem. Like, actually, a while ago, I can remember, I think this was mentioned Vermont as well. Years ago, there were worries about people impersonating officers, that they would essentially have like a scrap car, they'd make it up like a police car, go out at night and try to victimize women by pulling them over and having like fake officer uniforms, burglars that would put on like a security uniform and go to someone's house, say, oh, well, you know, you need to let me search the property and stuff. There's a reason for castle doctrine, in other words. As far as this goes, though, was it also as well necessary to handcuff his wife and kids? Of course they're going to be upset, like, you know, they're seeing their dad arrested. But is driving a few miles beyond speeding significantly, yes, but driving a few miles beyond that for no real apparent reason, is it that big a crime that it warrants, you know, this kind of reaction? I'm not sure. Nobody was killed. That's a good thing. Of course, Vermont police tend not to kill people and randomly beat them. Our police do a fairly good job of that. Sometimes they're like, oh, excessive force, because I can remember, like, there was one episode there. Suicidal man up in a church in Burlington, I believe. He had a knife. And he was, like, waving it around, saying, oh, I'm going to kill myself. And the police shot him and killed him. What the fuck was the point of it? You could have wounded him in the leg. That probably would... He didn't have a firearm, he had a knife. It's probable that you could have stopped him from harming himself and from harming others and also saved his life. No real attempt was made, apparently, to do that. That was a blot at the time, by the way, on our state policing. Of course, I don't believe that was the state police. That was, if I remember correctly, the police of the city of Burlington. This, I believe, involves the state police, however. Normally, they're even more restrained than, like, the town and city cops that you get around in Vermont. As for the sheriffs, like, the sheriffs, still like the Old West or something. All they want to do is, like, walk around and tip their hat at people. They don't have a lot else to do unless it involves opiates, which is probably a fucking good thing. You get rid of the crime associated with that by ending the drug war, there wouldn't be a whole lot for Vermont police generally to do. There aren't any large metropolitan areas to spawn the kind of party atmosphere that brings in a lot of the problems that you'd get in a big city. I feel sorry for this rabbi. And another thing, some people are taking the edge of, oh, well, he's a rabbi, he's a religious figure, they should have known better. That doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if the person you're stopping is a priest or a rabbi or an imam or something. That shouldn't matter whatsoever. The law shouldn't be respecting persons. I've always found it weird that we have this weird fixation on people who are like religious leaders. Now, if it were just a hyper-religious zealot, somebody who very literally believes in some religion, we wouldn't want the cops showing them any extra deference. We might even find them a little weird. But if somebody sits in a pulpit or at an altar or something, all of a sudden we gain another level of respect. And we're like, oh yeah, this person should have special deference. No, they shouldn't. They should be treated the same way as anybody else, honestly. But I can kind of feel sorry for him, or at least his family, But why the fuck did you continue to drive that many miles after after the police are like, fucking, you're speeding significantly? What the hell are you doing? I guess it's just a case of someone used to going at New York City highway speeds, decided to take a Vermont road, not realize, hey, Vermont's roads aren't well maintained enough to fly down them at 100 miles per hour. You need to slow down. Sometimes the cops won't even bother giving chase if you're going truly fast enough because it's too dangerous. They're like, well, if they kill anybody, it's probably going to be themselves, so we'll just let them hit a tree. And it's a little bit of road justice, I suppose. That's about all. Peace out.